Good morning, beautiful people.
Good morning.
Good morning. Welcome to Yuma Center for Spiritual Living. I'm Rev Darin, and I'm grateful to tell you that however you're feeling now, wherever you are now, in your mind, in your heart, in your spiritual journey, you will be in a different place, in a better place, in a more joyful place at the end of this service. Because you are here by conscious decision, you're here by divine appointment to remember that you're beautiful, that you're God's finest work, and that life is here for you to enjoy. So that's what we're remembering this morning, and we're going to celebrate this by going to lunch at the end of the service. We're going to Bubba's 33, the new restaurant, 4th Avenue in 16th Street?
Yeah.
So we'll have the address up on the screen. But welcome to everyone. Thank you to everyone watching on Facebook. And let's stand up, kick our service off in song.
I start my day with love. When I start my day with love, that's what I get more of, is love. I start my day with love. When I start my day with love, that's what I get more of, is love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. I start my day with peace. When I start my day with peace, I feel that sweet release of peace. I start my day with peace. When I start my day with peace, I feel that sweet release of peace. Peace, peace, peace. Peace, peace, peace. Peace, peace, peace. Peace, peace, peace. I start my day with joy. When I start my day with joy, everything I do is infused with joy. I start my day with joy. When I start my day with joy, everything I do is infused with joy. Joy, joy, joy. Joy, joy, joy. Joy, joy, joy. Joy, joy, joy. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace. I start my day with joy, and I feel that sweet release. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace. I start my day with joy, and I feel that sweet release.
I love that when we're looking for love, peace, and joy, all we need to do is look around, look at each other, ooh, and look at ourselves. Wonderful. And today, to read something, a powerful reading from our teaching. It's the global vision of Centers for Spiritual Living. We always say, well, this is what we believe. If somebody would ask, if you apply that, if you live that, what is the end result? What are you creating? And the global vision is that destination we're all working toward. And this is planting seeds for what I'm going to talk about today. So to share the Centers for Spiritual Living global vision, I'd like to welcome to the pulpit, Mr. John.
global vision. We envision all people, all beings, and all life as expressions of God. We see a world in which each and every person lives in alignment with their highest spiritual principle, emphasizing unity with God and connection with each other. A world in which individually and collectively we are called to a higher state of consciousness and action. We envision humanity awakening to its spiritual magnificence and discovering the creative power of thought. A world where each and every person discovers their own personal power and ability to create an individual life that works within a world that works for everyone. We envision a world in which we live and grow as one global family that respects and honors the interconnectedness of all life. A world where this kinship with all life prospers and connects through the guidance of spiritual wisdom and experience. We envision a world where personal responsibility joins with social consciousness in every area of the political, corporate, academic, and social sectors, providing sustainable structures to further the emerging global consciousness. We envision a world where each and every person has enough food, a home, and a sense of belonging. A world of peace and harmony, enfranchisement and justice. We envision a world in which resources are valued, cared for, and grown, where there is generous and continuous sharing of these resources. We envision a worldwide culture in which forgiveness, whether for errors, injustices, or debts, is the norm. We envision a world which has renewed its emphasis on beauty, nature, and love through the resurgence of creativity, art, and aesthetics. We envision a world that works for everyone and for all of creation. And so it is.
And so it is.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. We perform this ceremony to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that people of all faiths and lifestyles, all sentient beings, come from the one great universal presence, which we call spirit. Fundamental to this truth is the unifying nature of all religious thought and experience, which we honor here today. We light a candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light a candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. We light a candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light a candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light a candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light a candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light a candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the will of God as the highest calling. We light a candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light a candle for all forms of new thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual practices. As Steve lights the healing candle, please say silently, out loud, or put in Facebook comments, the names of those you would like to hold in the healing flame of God's eternal love. As we breathe in deeply, we remember that God is all there is. This universal spirit creates all, sustains all, is all-knowing, and is all-loving. It is the power back of all creation. All things past, present, and future belong to and are a result of God. Knowing that God creates all and creates from itself, we remember that we too are included in this creation. We are beloved children of God, and we too embody the God qualities of goodness, wholeness, love, power, and wisdom. Therefore, we know that we co-create with God. We recognize that our words, our beliefs, and our perceptions shape our human experiences in unity with God. God surrounds us, flows through us, works for us, and works through us. Through the creative process, we affirm and know the physical universe that we want to experience, and God makes it happen. God is the ultimate teammate. Through co-creation with God, we know that all things are possible, and our highest and best experiences are here and now. What a relief and joy it is to know that we co-create with the all-powerful God. We are so grateful to know that our highest and best expression appears in our lives with ease and confidence. Feeling and knowing that it is done, we release this prayer to God and allow God to bring this prayer into form. And so it is.
And so it is.
You're right. I was just bringing I relax, let go, release and surrender. I relax, let go, release and surrender. I relax, let go, release and surrender. All is well, all is well. I relax, let go, release and surrender. I relax, let go, release and surrender. I relax, let go, release and surrender. All is well, all is well. And every day I affirm and pray how I'm blessed with everything I have. I release my fear, 'cause it's all so clear. I am held, I am loved, I am safe. I relax, let go, release and surrender. I relax, let go, release and surrender. I relax, let go, release and surrender. All is well, all is well. And now I see what my life can be when I trust in the process and have faith. And now I know when I just let go that I have all I'll ever need. I relax, let go, release and surrender. I relax, let go, release and surrender. I relax, let go, release and surrender. All is well, all is well.
So great.
Good morning again.
Good morning.
Yes, I was honored this morning with the reading, and I'm honored again to introduce someone that we all know and love dearly. Someone who has chosen to share their gifts with us, was a wonderful friend and a great spiritual leader. A beautiful soul that we all love dearly, the Rev Darin Fenger.
Sweeter. And you said my name right. That's funny. When I was an education reporter years ago for a newspaper, I would go to schools and they'd say, "Okay, kids, let's say hello to Mr. Finger." Am I here to teach my kids help with that? Oh, and I release any hatred I have toward former classmates who asked me if I was finger licking good. Let it go. But first, before I get into my talk, I want to ask a little bit of housekeeping. Was the bouncer at the front door nice to you today? Why are you laughing? Hello? No bouncer. Of course there is not a bouncer. Because one of the most beautiful aspects of this spiritual center is just how far and wide open that front door is. And how could it be any different? That we don't just allow people in, we welcome people in. We don't just tolerate. You know, one of our beautiful sayings is, come where you're celebrated, not just tolerated. That's important. And that's not just here, it's not just on Sundays, it's every day, and it's at that front door. And it's a message we want everyone not just to hear, but to feel. Now, I'm not going to talk bad on the other guys, but I'm going to say that we all know that that's not always something that's experienced at all houses of worship. That there's no bouncer per se, but that people know, ooh, I'm maybe not going to be welcome here. Or my group, who I am, whatever that is, true or not, may not be welcome here. And that when people go into houses of worship like that, it's made pretty clear, isn't it? Well, I'm not welcome here. And I've heard stories, and it always breaks my heart, stories from people who've gone to other spiritual centers, other churches, and they not only knew they weren't welcome. One person shared a story where they were getting up to leave, and as they were leaving, somebody saw them out in the courtyard. And I thought, okay, here we go, happy ending, plot twist. They're going to say, why are you leaving? Come back in, we love you. And instead they said, oh, the door's over there. Oh. We, as I always say, aren't just being nice here. It is a practice of our spiritual teaching. Look what John read with the global vision. A world that works for everyone. And for a world to work for everyone, people need to be welcome. And without an agenda. You know, there's some places that say, come on in. We's going to fix you. They've got a plan, you know. And that's not the case here. Proof in the pudding, Friday night, this building packed as the kickoff place for the Pride March. And it was wonderful. Yes, let's do that. That door physically could have been even wider as we welcomed everybody in. I have not seen that front room so packed. I'm a big boy. I just happened to move around sideways. It was full of people and such a diversity of people. First, I haven't seen so many young people in our building. I mean, that was a lot of young people. And diversity is beautiful. Yes. It was like we said to Amazon or hey Siri, order us 2 of each. And we had a lot of young people. We had everybody from the LGBTQ community and their allies. They were parents and friends, and there was a dog, and and beautiful diversity. But what was the same was the welcome. Welcome in. You know, no masks needed, no costumes needed, no artifices needed. Come in as you are, because that's not only okay, it's fantastic. Isn't that the truth? And how healing that is. And so I went, I forgot my blinky ring. I was going to use this as a prop. I had a punch bowl full of blinky rings. So I'm like, hey, blinky ring, would you like a blinky ring? And in talking with people, some of them were surprised to know that this is a church, a spiritual center, where they would be welcomed. I thought, oh my goodness, come on in. Step in and feel the love. Because they can feel, even between Sundays, people can feel all the love that you leave here. Think of that. It's your residue, and it's a good thing. We fill this place with love, and when people come and visit, they can feel it. So having Pride kick off from here, you know, people say, oh, that's good marketing, good outreach, good niceness. Yes, and it's our teaching in practice. To look at everyone we see, and to know that's the face of God looking back. Now, in that personality, they may be showing up in all kinds of interesting ways. But no matter what, that is a child of God. completely as connected as we are, completely as worthy of love as we are. And what's beautiful is, I always love to remind myself and remind everybody else, we don't need magical words to heal people. Sometimes all we need to do is to welcome them. To know, hey, come on in, you belong. You can fit here. Be another piece of the puzzle. And that is powerful. And that's what we do. So my talk today is open minds and open hearts. If that's where the opening is, that can also be where the blockage is. So today for us to talk about how it hurts to be excluded, how it hurts not to let people in, and how we miss out on the beautiful deliciousness of diversity when we leave people out. How we are called to look and to see the face of God in everyone. Because it's a great reminder that diversity is part of God's plan, part of the universal plan. Dr. Ernest Holmes, our founder, always pointed back to nature. Is anything one or the same in nature? Even red roses aren't like red roses. There's such diversity there, such a diversity in nature. So there's such a beautiful diversity of flavors with our fellow spiritual beings. And we're here today, how about tomorrow? We're here today to remember that we have the power through our open hearts, open minds, to harm or to help, to push down or to lift up. John said from the reading, from the global vision, a world that works for everyone. If our hearts and our minds are open, we are doing that. We're doing that and making the world a better place by doing it right here. I love that. So this is a safe space. It sounds like a bumper sticker, but it's more than a bumper sticker, and it's more than that poor dusty welcome mat that you stepped over. It is, Yuma sun has kind of faded it, and it's dusty. I don't know if you even noticed it when you walked in. The very front door outside of it is an old mat that says safe space. So that's more than just a saying. Because who could not be welcome here? Nobody. You know, I used to work at a hospital, and I thought, gosh, that'd be like having a bouncer at the front door of the emergency department. Are you too ill? You know, who are you? Who do you want to let in? Who could not be welcome here? Because on one hand, we have people who fully know who they are. I mean, all that joy is unveiled. The hearts are open, the minds are open, they're great, they're ready to go. And then there are people who aren't there yet. And that's okay. We are called to meet people where they are. I'm called to meet myself where I am. You know, for no matter what people are experiencing in their day, that day, or even in their life journey, to be able to come here and simply be themselves, let all those walls down, let all that stuff down, and to heal and transform. Because I always say, I've got the best seat in the house up here. I can see everybody. And I mention this once in a while. I have to mentally remember, oh, that person here who is now, you know, full of friends and prospering in life and doing all these wonderful, great things, that's that same person that when they first came here, kind of had their head down and was really quiet and nobody knew their name and they were maybe a little bit timid in life. But they opened their hearts and their minds. They practiced what we teach, and they opened up and started sharing and being the bright light that they are. So I love that. And why wouldn't this be a safe space? Because if you know what we know, we don't believe in sin. We believe in mistakes. So we don't believe in anything haunting us or holding us back forever. Right. If something isn't working for us, we make a new thought, make a new decision, and have a fresh and new experience. I was telling a few people out there, they're like, well, you know, about hell. I said, well, you're in a hell-free zone. And not just here, but everywhere. And people are relieved to hear that. They're like, you don't focus on that? I'm like, well, I don't believe it. I've jokingly gotten upset with people, and I said, I'm going to create hell right now and put you in it. And we don't believe that. Because what could anyone do? What could they be that the universe would withhold itself from them? That God would close its proverbial eyes to them? What could anyone do, or who could they be, or whatever, to not be welcome here? It's a superpower that we have, to not just look at who people are right now, but who they're becoming. Not to get hypnotized by what they've done, all that, but who they're becoming. And we expect that same grace, don't we? I do. Please. Hold me in love and in grace for who I am becoming, not who I am. All that other stuff, it's stories, it's chapters of our life, but we're always starting a new chapter and always starting a new book. So to forgive and to look within and to expect to see. I love that. We had some training for the board recently. Don't just hear goodness when you hear goodness. Expect to hear that from people, and just expect the best, not just from them, but of them, of who they are. I love that. And so that's beautiful that when we practice this, can we be racist?
No.
No.
A little bit no.
How about sexist, homophobic, ageist, any of that stuff? If it's within us, it can be healed. If it's within us, it's holding back our full joy of life, and it can be healed. Because some of the things of our teaching are just so powerfully universal, and I like that it's kind of legalistic. Holmes is clear, like, this is how it is. And that we are all beautiful children of God. And that's more than just a bumper sticker, that's the truth. That we are all God's finest work. So if we know that, how could we ever say, well, fundamentally, this group over here isn't as good as my group, or that group is to be blamed for something? It's funny because, it's such a universal connection for us. We are just so cosmically connected, but then we get down into the news and people are hating on the libertarians and the Episcopalians, and I'm like, we're one family, guys, come on. And when we know that, we heal ourselves, we heal our own lives, and we heal each other. So let's ask ourselves the hard question. Are there any groups or people that aren't welcome in our hearts?
No.
Now, it's okay, too. We got to talk in little voices reminding me, we have boundaries. There are people who have hurt us, or people who we choose that they just don't get to be in our space. But are there any people, any groups, that we would withhold from the divine good, that we would withhold and think less of? That's just good things for us to ask. And some of this comes from, just the being taught by our parents, or not my parents, my mother's good. She didn't probably love everybody. She's watching and she'll say, hey. But we get it from society. We hear a lot of, hey, these people are less, or these people are to blame. And we get to, in that moment, be firm and clear and stand balanced in what we know, and know that everyone is welcome. To know the fundamental goodness of everyone. And it's funny, people say, oh, these are just little small things I can help with. But the person who always gets brought up in classes and always gets brought up here as Mr. Bad Guy is Hitler. So I'm always ready for a Hitler question when we do a class. But if for those of you who know his story, it began with a fractured and traumatic childhood. His life began with a lot of rejection. Could there have been a difference had he been shown more love? Could there have been a difference in him, and then in his trajectory, and his entire life, and the planet's experience, if he had been told what was right about him versus what was wrong? And this is something I have a powerful kind of personal experience with, not just with him, but what he created, and some beauty that came from a response of that. The experience I'm going to share is when I was in Amsterdam, probably about 10 years ago, in this big, modern, beautiful museum. And you go up in it, I don't remember how many floors, and it's all very shiny and new, but suddenly you come to where it butts up against the next building. And you see this old bookcase, and it's just barely open up enough for you to step in. And you walk into this really old building, and there's a staircase, it's really, really steep, and it leads to Anne Frank's attic. Powerful, powerful. I swear that if you didn't know where you were, you would know by the feeling of that. But I share this not because that's dark. What a wonderful example of how someone can respond to a terrible situation. How many of you have read Anne Frank's diary? It is wonderful. And I think she's such a great role model for us. That's why I wanted to share a little bit from what she said. She said, what is done can't be undone, but one can prevent it from happening again. Big picture or the micro in our own lives. How wonderful it is that nobody need wait a single moment before starting to improve the world. Let us not put it off, that we can do it now. And that we can do it by practicing the global vision. She wrote, it's in difficult times like these, ideals, dreams, cherished hopes rise within us only to be crushed by grim reality. It's a wonder I haven't abandoned all my ideals because they seem so absurd and impractical. Yet I cling to them because I still believe, in spite of everything, that people are truly good at heart. That she could write that she could know that in such extreme situations. What a wonderful role model for us to know that no matter what happens, we always say in Science Mind, we're not ignoring what's happening, but decisions and actions, that's all the reflection of how we're thinking, how other people are thinking. If a person makes, again, when I worked at the prison, I knew people that could make horrific decisions and be very dangerous to be around. But fundamentally, are they a wrong person? Are they a bad person? Are they a broken person? No. Are they lacking the potential for absolute transformation? No. And if you've paid attention, when I've talked about, some of my favorite guys I worked with at the prison were the ones who had the biggest and worst stories, the ones who had experienced the biggest transformation. So what Anne Frank wanted was safe harbor. That's what she needed, that's what she deserved. That's what each of us needs and deserves, and the world, and we can be that. There's such a longing for a place to be safe, to belong, to breathe easy, not to have to work so hard to fit in, huh? That we get to show up and be our own selves and not just to be accepted, but loved for it. And I always think that's kind of funny when you see people who hide some of their aspects, whatever it is, their personality, or who they are, or what they like. They're hiding the best part. I'm like, okay, not only is authentic living the right way to go, but you're not even picking the stuff to hide. Who they really are is far better, far more beautiful, and more fun and joyous than what they're pretending to be. But that safe harbor, Maya Angelou has a quote that I love. She said, the ache for home lives in us all. The safe place where we can go as we are and to not be questioned. Whew. Not to have to explain ourselves. How powerful is that? Our wings can't unfurl if we're locked up tight, if we have that costume on, if we have our walls up tight. So by accepting someone, look at the difference we can make. So this safe space is really one of the big visions of Yuma Center for Spiritual Living. It is our goal, but it's not the building. It's our consciousness. It's our minds, it's our hearts. And we learn how each of us can be, I always think, a mobile safe space, that wherever we are can be a safe space. And that's by healing and taming our judgment. So when people show up, we're not like, or that we're like, okay, that's who you are, okay. Even if it's weird, even if it's interesting, we remember who they are. And to relax is to be a safe space, isn't it? Our own drama is contagious. So when people are needing and deserving to pull their ship into a safe harbor, how about we be a little bit less wavy? And for us to cultivate an inner silence. Boy, that's powerful. You know, when I'm working with somebody who maybe the mind is going and the mouth is going about how awful everything is, when I get quiet in myself, their soul feels that. To remember their truth, for all the dust to settle, all the noise, all that stuff, for us to reach what I always call namaste consciousness, the God in me seeing the God in you, and to breathe easy. I prototyped it even for I had a good friend who we were talking. I'm not sure what brought us up into this talk, but I said to him, I love opera, you know, so there's a lot of artifice in opera, you know, the big wigs, the gowns, the makeup. I said to him that he felt like the backstage friend, back in the dressing room, where you can have your wig off, have the heels in the corner, you know, that you didn't have to put your makeup on or to put up any front or any mask, that you got to be you. I got to be me with him. And again, that wasn't just okay, it's what he wanted, it's who he wanted. And I think that's always just a nice kind of goal for us all to think of. Someone for whom we have no expectation, but them just to be themselves, and for us to support them and to love them.
Right.
Amen. And that's what I felt the first time I came here. I thought, oh my gosh, how do I have to dress? How do I have to act? How did I dress and act? Like I wanted to. Because after I heard this teaching, I'm like, okay, Reverend Marilyn, you've told me how we're supposed to live and how we're supposed to treat each other, and I am going to expect that. And that's what I received. A place to be myself. Because again, when we put those walls down, when we're not putting so much energy into the artifice and the trying and the struggling to fit in, things can have room to move and to move into a different place and to heal and for us to become who we really are. So I'm not biased when I say that this place is a great place to be. It is the truth. And it's not the building, it's you. And it's the work you do, the spiritual work you do, that you might just call socializing, you might just call fun, but you do it before the service, you do it after the service. You do it all week long, not just having fun with each other, but when something happens and people put out the call,
Oh God.
you all surround. It's like the dispatch saying, circle the cars, somebody's having an experience, and so much help, so much love is given. And no matter what turmoil is going on in that person's mind or heart, you all show up knowing, I know who you are. I remember who you are. I know your wholeness, I know your beauty, I know your worth, I know your prosperity, I know your health. And I look for what's right with you. Doesn't that just feel good? If you need a new superpower, go out there looking for what's right with people. We have enough of the other stuff. And again, why we make such good friends here, I'm not biased, because we don't judge. We don't exclude, we don't withhold. We don't remember just one chapter in someone's life. Now, I do love hearing stories. I'm an old reporter. So like, ooh, a story. So that's all it is, it's a story. Part of our journey that got us here. Again, what we are most interested in is who we are becoming. And to be a part of that, and to support that. And I think that's beautiful. And then there's no hidden agenda. No hidden agenda. Remember the places that I talked about, you know, you get in and then they want to, then they got you. And there's some hidden agenda. And I gave a talk once where I said, you know, that there's no other shoe to drop here. There isn't. Sometimes people wait, like, okay, when are they going to ask me for all my money? Nope. When are they going to ask me to sign over my soul? Nope. We don't do that. That there are no strings attached. There's no fine print. It's love and it's respect and it's full welcome of the physical door and the door in our hearts. So I love that we are helping to lead the way, here, especially here in Yuma, with that message that diversity is part of the deliciousness of life, that we get to include people and to bring them in. Look at the center here, who our leaders are, who our volunteers are. It is beautiful diversity. I love that. One time, there were two young white straight guys who did the candles, and I said, oh my gosh, next time we do that, let's get a picture. Why is that? Young straight white guys, that's diversity in this building. I thought that was funny. That we have women in power. We have LGBTQ people, in leadership. We have different races, different backgrounds, different stories, making up that beautiful, delicious flavor that's YCSL. And there's a quote, I love this, by someone named Verna Myers. Diversity is being invited to the party. But it gets better than that. Inclusion is being asked to dance. So we ask you to dance, to get involved, not just to be here to soak it up, but to be a part of this center. And again, this isn't just common sense. It sounds like common sense to be nice to each other, but it gets trickier than that sometimes. In our minds and in our hearts, and we can heal that. So my call to action is for us to look within and see what needs to be healed, what gets to be healed. And that's not a have to, that's a get to. To think of how we can open our hearts even wider. And in this story, I'm going to use a young person word, this talk isn't for the haters. It's for the lovers too. For those of us who have our hearts open, let's open them up a bit wider. Let's open our minds a bit wider. It's needed more than ever, isn't it? It's deserved more than ever for us to be mobile, safe spaces wherever we are. That people can feel safe with us, to be their genuine self. And in that moment, and in that allowing, even if they wander off and go do their thing and we never see them again, there can be set into motion a healing, a great remembering, a powerful revealing of who they really are. And that's beautiful. And if you are somebody who has been excluded or is being excluded, know that no one's treatment of you defines who you are. No one gets to tell you who you are. If you keep thinking, well, I'm worthy, yes, you are. I should be included, yes, you should. And to know that if you're looking for a safe space, come here. If you're looking for a place to be reminded of what's right with you, of your potential and your power, your beauty and your joy, it's right here with all of you. Thank you for what you create each Sunday. Thank you for what you create with our spiritual family. Thank you for the love you give your fellow life travelers out there in the world. You're a blessing to it. And so it is.
So it is.
So I invite you to close your eyes and open your hearts. Those big, beautiful hearts, which by their nature are big, open, and loving. And being fed by this teaching, I know that they are even bigger and wider, open to know the truth of those who cross our path in the spiritual journey. May we all remember that again in Namaste consciousness, everyone we meet is God in motion, God in being, just as us. And I affirm that we do our own work to be clear and to be open to everyone and everything. That our stillness, our silence within, our healing, our peace within is our gift to this world. And people are safe with us. People heal with us. People transform with us. And I seek my word that we beautifully enjoy the deliciousness of diversity in this life, and that this journey of life is a blessing with so many different people and experiences that it's rich indeed, and we enjoy it, we love it, we open our hearts to it, and all is well. And so it is.
So it is.
Way to go again. Am I strong enough to bear the burdens that sometimes come in this thing called life? Am I wise enough to make the right decisions when I'm standing at the fork in the road? Sometimes I wonder and ponder, only to realize I'm not alone, and there's nothing I have to do on my own, because I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its meaning. I am the place where God shows up. Will I have enough to do the things I need to do to take care of myself? Will I have the help of mind and body to live a life of grace and holiness? Sometimes I wonder and ponder, only to realize I'm not alone, and there's nothing I have to do on my own, because I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives. You are the place that has its being. We are the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives. You are the place that has its being. We are the place where God shows up.
It's funny, proof of how wonderful our musicians are. When I'm home and I hear one of these songs sung by the actual artist, I'm like, Skip. I want to hear them sing, and I want to hear our YCSL people sing. And the music that they sang at my ordination, I'm like, Skip. I do not want to hear that from anyone but our people. It's beautiful. Right, so now is our time to support this vision. We talk about this, the difference this spiritual center makes in this world, in this community, the difference you make, we make, and now is the time that we get to support that through our offerings. So let's take our offerings, and let's say this, that the truth of us, the truth of everyone, the truth of our prosperity, and that is that divine love consecrates my gift. It goes forth to heal, to prosper, and to bless. It is evidence of my conviction that God is the source and substance of my supply. I joyously contribute to the vision of this center, knowing that it returns to me multiplied abundantly, and so it is.
All I give comes back to me and blesses me abundantly. All I give comes back to me and blesses me abundantly. All I give comes back to me and blesses me abundantly. All I give comes back to me and blesses me abundantly. All I give comes back to me and blesses me abundantly. All I give comes back to me and blesses me abundantly.
And I love how easy it is to give online using our QR codes. So I'm going to say, it's Darin. Okay. Thank you. Oh, just joining in knowing our needs are easily met when we open our hearts to receive greatly, to give greatly. It is that easy that we are the opening through which God in its universe and everything it has to offer, it flows into us, through us, and then back out from us as our gifts. It is beautiful. It is powerful. And for this, we say thank you, and so it is.
So it is.
For everyone watching at home, we'll put the link into the comments on how you can go to our website, YCSL.com, and you can hit the donate button and give easily and safely and wonderfully. And then on the baskets, there is a QR code. Easy, just put your phone up. If you ever use that, if you have any questions on how to use a QR code, you can ask me. They're so easy, that's so convenient. So thank you for that. For announcements, the first thing before we get into the slides, our beautiful Day of the Dead altar, all of the items that were on that are now on a table in the office. So if there's something that you have left, if you want to pick that up today, it's in the office to the right. We'll kind of do that after the service, and you can get all those beautiful mementos. We have them back there where they're safe and just waiting for you. And what a beautiful experience. And again, thank you to everyone who participated with that. It was moving. And if you like that, we'll make that a tradition here. I thought it was nice, so thank you. Our first announcement was, look at that. That's us in action. That was Pride. I love that picture. Could everyone raise your hand who participated in Pride? Yeah, who shared our love? Thank you. And there were a lot more who aren't here. They're maybe sleeping in this morning. And again, what a wonderful time to introduce ourselves to the community. Because what's funny is people can drive by here, they say, oh, I've driven by that building, what a funny looking little building. I've wondered what you were. And they don't know. So it's wonderful for us to leave the building and to literally go out into the streets and tell people who we are. That there is a safe space, that there's a loving space, a fun space, and that they are warmly welcome here and invited. So again, great job to everyone with Pride. And they say Yuma doesn't have seasons. Yes, we do have seasons. We have the happy time when our snowbird friends come back, and I love that. I love that. You know, when people, it's fun for people to leave. You know, they're gonna escape the summer, go somewhere fun, and we're like, So it's wonderful to have our winter visitor friends back. And those who watch online still, who are still traveling down, we look forward to seeing you. And boy, we've got some great stuff going on with YouTube, and I want to have you tell you about that. Welcome up, Anna.
Yeah.
Hello again. So we've had a YouTube channel for a while, but we haven't updated it in a while. So I've been updating the YouTube channel, getting it ready to be relaunched, and it's ready. So you can find us on YouTube by searching Yuma CSL, and we should pop up the little logo with the V. That is our little profile picture, and this image in the back is the image on the channel, like the banner on top. So right now I think we have 10 or 11 videos up and ready to go, and I'll be adding more videos as we move forward and then also going backwards. So we'll get to have all of our fantastic talks up on YouTube.
Wow.
And you're going to see this beautiful job. And then create these beautiful images for each talk that are so inviting and eye-catching. She's done a wonderful job at that. That's going to really draw people in.
It's
and
been
that's
really
important.
fun.
Well, she's very creative with it. And what's powerful about this is Facebook, unfortunately, isn't letting the videos stay online very long anymore. They delete them. So this is a place where those videos can live, and you can share them. You know, it's easy to share. We can even share them back onto our Facebook page, but so that these talks don't go away, that the music doesn't go away, the prayers, that it keeps going. And I really want to thank Anna for that. That's a huge project, and she's done beautifully. And she knows that some dummy created that page and then forgot the password and couldn't find it again.
Oh, no.
So I went into spiritual mind treatment and I was told, fire up your old laptop. So I'm 52, and that old laptop was my first laptop. I had it back there. That thing was so gunky, I wasn't even sure it would charge. Did my treatment, open it up, press power up, dong, up it came. And the only thing it could do was bring up the page of YouTube and show us the password. And Anna's done the magic. So, yeah, thank you. And she's up for the next slide, too.
Yes.
Oh.
Another announcement. So earlier this year, I launched with of course, YCSL, the Inspired Mind Writing Group. So we've kept it kind of small. This is the first year that we've had it, and it has been very successful. We have a wonderful small group of writers, and I'm excited to announce that in January, we're going to be opening it back up again for everybody who wants to come. It will be the first Saturday of every month from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. here at the center. So I hope to see some fellow writers there. I don't know what else to say about that.
Book.
Oh, the book,
They're
yes.
writing a book.
We are. The reason why we have to wait till January for new members is because we have a very exciting project that is in the works right now. And we are publishing a book. And it is a collection of submissions from our very talented writers, and we're hoping to have it ready and published and have physical copies that we can sell and you can buy online December. So keep an eye out for that.
Yay.
Christmas gift. And I love how she knew right away that the writers group wasn't just something fun and creative. That's spirituality. That's tapping in. That's using what we know for that inspiration. Great job with that. Next, it's lunch. Again, at Bubba's 33. There you can see the address up there. That's why, Pedro, you're so good. You had to duck out and call them and say, we're on our way in a little bit. So we'll have a table waiting for us. Pedro, thank you so much for all that. And it's so wonderful, yes, when we all get to come together and have lunch together and to be kind and love on each other. And next week, Reverend Judy Osuna, one of our favorites, coming down from Palm Springs. She'll be speaking, and that will be wonderful. And I'm excited to have her come back. And just a reminder, the Infinite Compassion Orchestra, November 30th, that's when Swami Shankarananda is going to be back in person to sing with us, not up on the screen, but in person. And he's bringing with him the Infinite Compassion Orchestra. They're a kirtan ensemble from Tucson. So look at all the instruments they play. Look at those voices. They are wonderful. So Swami will talk that day. I think they might be here for the service, but for sure they're going to have the concert then that evening at 5 p.m. It'll be a love offering and mission. And then after the Sunday service too, the plan is we're all going to go to Curry's, the Indian restaurant. It's always fun too. So lots of good stuff to invite you to include and to be a part of. So thank you. And thank you for a great Sunday service. What a great spirit in here, which is the spirit of us. It's the spirit of joy and of love and peace and celebration. And thank you to everyone watching online. We're grateful for that. We're grateful for your connection. And as we always do, let's end our service and celebration by standing, making a circle, and singing our peace song as our gift and consciousness to the world. Big, beautiful circle. Almost connected. Almost connected. We're getting there.
All right.
Excellent.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as our power, united all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
Something wonderful is happening in my life right now.
Something wonderful is happening in my life